what we were saying, because between what Dean already said and what John said, I'm pretty much done. I'll just say this, I'm pro leads. So, questions? That and when I was first getting started and I didn't know what I should buy and what I should not buy, and I'm brand new, I don't know. There's a lot of different lead sources, and so I just asked Nicole. Nicole's in the back, and whatever Nicole said, I said yes. She's like, would you like to try this? I said yes. Would you try some of these? Sure. So I haven't seen a lead I don't like. I've bought every single type of lead. And that's what I would recommend to everyone here is try them all. People will say, this isn't a good lead and I didn't get a good return on that. Try them all. Right, so just a little bit about my backstory. John kind of touched on this, but before coming to Family First Life, for just about a year, almost the exact amount of time that I've been with Family First Life, I was a captive agent. So I was licensed. I actually passed my Series 63, Series 6. I was 2 questions short of passing my 7. For those of you that don't know, that means full-blown stockbroker. I can do it all, right? Everything, right? So I was with Accident Advisors and New York Life. You can look it up on LinkedIn. I'm not telling stories out of school. It's all public information. Good companies, very good companies, right? And in that same time that I've been here, that I was there, I did not run but one appointment. In almost a year, I ran one appointment. That was with my oldest son, and he didn't buy. So I didn't make one sale in almost a year, not one. And so that would be easy to give up, but I didn't. And what's the difference between those very good, successful companies and what we're doing, everyone in this room? It's leads. I didn't have any leads. It was utilize your warm market. I call it the FBI network, friends, brothers, in-laws. I didn't want to do that, right? Because it's like I was 30 years senior IT management, and now you're doing what? You're a stockbroker, you sell insurance, they're not going to buy it. I didn't talk to them, right? Other company, cold leads. Here's the white pages, go to work. It's like, So I get here, and leads, it's like, oh, this is a godsend. I started gobbling all up. And the difference was within the first week, I made a sale. I'd worked a year and spent a lot of money. Going to work, parking, paying for lunch, wearing a suit and a tie, no money. 3 days, first sale. And like John was saying, almost a year later, I did 37 grand in 1 week. Yeah, that would have been, well, let's see, let's do the math. Forever. So, I don't have fancy slides. I'm not going to go to the whiteboard. I love the whiteboard. I'm not going to do it today. Everyone can remember 3 things. Here's 3 things. If you're going to write anything down, write these 3 things down. All leads are good leads. Okay? There are no bad leads. And so there's buy per lead, there's Mail Pro, Mail Drop, EverQuote, Facebook, social insurance. We've got lots of choices. Some new, some not as new, and they'll probably continue to change, I expect. But it really doesn't matter whether it's final expense or estate planning, hiring an agent, an annuity, mortgage protection. If they're 50 cents or $50, they're all good leads. That's first and foremost. And if you try a lead source, it's like, hey, I heard the John Hancock leads are really good. So-and-so said so. I'm going to try it. And then you get skunked. Then I would say, try it again, right away. That's what I've done with everyone, and some didn't work out. I'll be honest. I had a batch, and I made like a couple of appointments, a couple of sales, and it's like, And I said, my rule for myself is do it twice at a minimum. As soon as you get done with it, whether good or bad, do it again. Do not give up on lead source. Certainly not a lead, because it's not the lead. Figure that out. It's not the lead. Just look in the mirror. Okay, number 2. Buy as many leads as you can. So this is your business. And if you're going to start a business, maybe you don't have any money, no capital, what do? You take out a business loan. Well, the lifeblood of our business is leads. No leads, no business. So if you need to open a credit card, do a financial inventory on yourself. Where's my money going? Am I putting money back into my business? Am I putting enough money back in my business? And if you need to borrow from the FBI network, friends, brothers, in-laws, do that. Whatever it takes, fund the business. Buy as many leads as you can. So that's number 2. Number 1, all leads are good leads. Number 2, buy as many as you can. Number 3, the last thing to remember is do not give up on a lead. And so I've had leads that don't have a phone number, or it's a phone number and it's dee. It's like that's not a good number. I could have told you it was 111-5555. It's like, this is not going to be a good number. I still dial it. Sometimes it'll be a P.O. box. It's like, okay, well, I actually went to a P.O. box. I set an appointment, and they said, yeah, I'll meet you at the P.O. box. Yeah, the post office box was closed for the day, but I went. I did. So typically P.O. boxes are no bueno. But sometimes it's like email only, right? No phone number, no address, but there's an email. Well, you know what? I will take a picture of the lead with my business card on it, and I'll write a note so they know that it's my handwriting, the date, and that I'm emailing it, and then I will email. It takes me about, 10 seconds, and I'll email it right there from the picture on my iPhone to the email app. And this week I have an appointment set from somebody responding. It's not super common, but it's better than just giving up on that lead. So I'm saying don't give up on the lead no matter what. And here, let me illustrate with a story. I love to tell stories. So, have an EverQuote lead. And I looked at it, and Matt says, don't do a CSI on your leads, just dial. I don't always listen. I love to look at all the detail. Oh, married. Oh, disability, pre-existing. This one's going to be. She was 88. It's like, oh boy, how did this even get to me? You can't do anything with anyone over 85. Some of you probably heard the story on Facebook. For those that haven't, I dialed the lead anyway, and I talked to this lady named June. June's a sweet gal, and her son is 64. He's David. He takes care of her. And she said, I want to do something to take care of my son. And I know I probably can't get insurance. And I said, well, that's true, but why don't we sit down and see what we can do? Make sure your son's there. So I set the appointment, went to their house, and we ended up writing a Americo HMS 125, and it was $379 a month, so like $4,500 to me. And that was a lead that you could have easily given up on. And the reason that they did do it was she had money, but not health or age. He had no money, but he had health and age. How she's taking care of him is that if something happens to him, her husband ultimately died from the complications of a stroke, and she was worried about her son having a stroke. Living benefits with HMS was the tipping point. She knew that if something happened to her son and he couldn't take care of himself, this is how she could take care of him. He wanted to take care of his mom. Well, if he did have that stroke and he ended up dying ultimately, she's the beneficiary. So she's the payer, she is the beneficiary, he's the insured and the owner. Everybody wins. And that was a $12 lead that you could have easily just said 88 years old, on to the next. That would have been a mistake. That's number 3. Number 1, all leads are good. Number 2, buy as much as you can, and then a few more. Number 3, do not give up on any leads. So, I get this question about leads from time to time. Which ones do I use? What's the good lead? Tell me about the good lead. Well, I just said they're all good. Right now, when I first started, I was doing the push, so people, they were being pushed to me, and I was doing the pull. I was out buying a batch of this, and cherry picking this, and second chance that. I don't really do that. That's not right or wrong, just what I'm doing today. Everything's push. I don't pull. Everything comes to me. So, and I'm getting everything that'll drop into our CRM. Every single type of lead that will pop into our CRM, I get them all. Every single one. Give me as much as I can take. And that's about $570. No. Yeah, about $750 a week for those. About $750 a week for those. And then EverQuote, I get 5 a day. And so that's 2 data sources, 2 systems of record. I look at 2 portals. I look at EverQuote when I'm on the road or at home, and I look in our CRM. And I get notifications in email that they pop in there. So I always know what's coming in, everything's being pushed to me, and I get about 50 a week. That's as much as I can process, is about 50 a week. And so how many do I buy? About 50 a week. It's right around $1,000 a week. And then everyone wants to know, well, what do you get for a return? If you're spending $1,000, I can't spend $1,000 a week. I can only spend $250 a week. They're just numbers, doesn't matter. But what the return, that's what's important. Start with $250 a week. Your return should be 10x. Don't sell for less than 10x. Well, I'm only getting 2x. Well, then you're not doing it right. Keep doing it, because it'll get better. Then it's 4x, then it's 5x, 6x, and sometimes it will be less, sometimes it will be more. I mean, this last week, I had a pretty good week, right? I didn't spend any more or any less on leads than weeks that I didn't. But it does work out. There's a huge return on investment. And then as far as processing a lead, I dial each one 4 times. I dial it 3 times, no answer, *67, and ultimately if they're under 60, I'll text them as well. And I have just as many people tell me, don't ever do that to me again, how rude are you? Equally, I have as many people saying, thank you for being persistent, I couldn't hear my phone, I thought this was important, and it is. Thank you for not giving up. It's an equal number. They're statistically outliers. Most everyone will be in the middle somewhere. Doesn't deviate what I do. 4 dials. And that's how I do what I do. Is that good?